Hi, my name is Sara Hopkins. I am the chef and kitchen manager here at the Summit County Community and Senior Center. We are focusing today on our Aging Gracefully in the Summit series. That is a series going on for the entire year of 2017. Periodically throughout the year, we are going to be doing cooking classes that are focusing on healthy cooking for 1 or 2 people. Today we are going to be preparing a Tuscan style roasted pork loin with roasted potatoes and sauteed kale. Our ingredients are going to be about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of roasted pork loin or pork tenderloin with a spice rub. We will also be preparing a Salsa Verde and a garlic sauteed kale with roasted potatoes. First, we're going to begin with our russet potato. You can use 1 large or 2 small. Cut the potato in half lengthwise and then slice in 1/4 inch slices and mix in a bowl with a little bit of oil, salt and pepper, and then place onto a foil-lined oil cookie sheet on just 1/2 of the cookie sheet in a single layer. So we're going to take our cookie sheet that has our sliced potatoes on half of it. It is foil-lined and well-oiled, and the reason that we're putting the potatoes on only half of the cookie sheet is we're going to cook our roast on the other half of the sheet. Because the potatoes take a little longer to cook, we're going to go ahead and get those started in a preheated 375-degree oven. So we'll go ahead and place those in and let those get started. So once our potatoes are in the oven, we're going to start on our pork loin. Once again, this is about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of either a pork loin or a pork tenderloin. We're going to take our spice rub and we're going to coat the dried pork loin on all sides. So once our loin is coated on all sides, we're going to come over to the stove. I have a heated nonstick pan with a couple tablespoons of olive oil. And what we want to do is do a quick sear on all sides of the pork loin prior to putting it into the oven. About 2 minutes per side. Once we've done a quick sear on all sides of the pork, we're going to place it onto the other half of the sheet pan that has the potatoes on it. And then we will roast about 25 minutes at 375 degrees until an internal temperature of 145 degrees is reached. So while the pork is cooking, the next thing we're going to work on is our garlic sauteed kale. The first thing you want to do is pull the kale off of the stem. Once you have all the kale off the stems, we just want to do a rough chop, passing your knife through the bunch until it's about bite-sized pieces. In the same saute pan that you seared the pork in, we are going to saute our kale. You want to leave the remaining fond, which is the leftover crispy bits from the pork, in the pan. Add a little bit of extra oil, about a teaspoon of garlic, as much red pepper flakes as you feel comfortable with from a spice level. I like it spicy. And your kale. It's gonna pop a little bit because of the moisture in the kale. And we'll just cook this down for about 3 to 5 minutes until it becomes tender. After a few minutes, when the kale begins to wilt and turn bright green, you can add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. And then remove from the pan and set aside in a warm place to hold. So while the pork continues to cook, we're going to make our Salsa Verde, which is going to be the finishing touch for the dish. You're going to want to take 1 bunch of parsley and roughly chop all of the leaves and stems. Add to a dish. In addition to the parsley, we're going to take 2 tablespoons of drained and rinsed capers, and we will roughly mince those. Add those to the parsley, along with your remaining tablespoon of garlic, 1 teaspoon of white wine vinegar, salt and pepper, and a little bit of olive oil. We'll mix that together and let that marinate while the pork is continuing to cook. Now that we have our salsa verde and our kale done, it's been about 20 to 25 minutes, and we're going to check on our pork. Once again, we want to make sure that we reach an internal temperature of 145 degrees. And we're ready to go. So now we can begin plating. First and foremost, we will want to remove our pork from the pan, put onto our cutting board, and let it rest for about 5 minutes. That way we make sure that all those juices stay inside of the pork and do not leak out by cutting it too soon. We're going to plate some kale, which has been finished off with some white wine vinegar, a little bit of our nice brown roasted potatoes, and then we will thinly slice our pork, which should have just a touch of pink to it. And we'll fan that out over the kale, topping with some of our salsa verde. So there you have it, healthy cooking for 2. Tuscan style roasted pork loin with garlic sauteed kale, roasted potatoes, and a caper salsa verde. Brought to you by the Summit County Community and Senior Center, sponsored by the Aging Gracefully in the Summit series for 2017. Please feel free to stop by and get a copy of this menu, or contact me personally, Sara Hopkins, at 668-2950. Thank you.